He was on the National Finance Committee, and yet there's this guy that was so involved with people. So it really said a lot to me about this man, Bob Brennan.
I knew Bob by reputation, but when you meet the guy, you can see why he's so popular. He's a very easygoing individual, always positive, and a real common sense approach, and really related well to people.
He's created a unique culture in the place that is a direct result of Bob's modest, understated approach to things.
I don't think there's anything better than the way our employees give back to the community. Manitoba Hydro is really good at that. Our employees just volunteer for everything. And when our employees are part of the management of any function, it is well done. I encourage anybody who can make some kind of contribution to these various groups to try to do it. Everybody needs volunteers, and I don't know. I think that makes our whole province a better place to live.
He wanted to know all about how he might be making a difference as a board member.
He pulled together, along with a number of others, a team, what we call the campaign cabinet. And between the groups and the citizens of Winnipeg, they collected over $2 million over a relatively short period of time, even though the experts we consulted said we'd be lucky to get $100,000. So that was a real success story, and certainly greatly impressed me.
I got 2 daughters that I'm very proud of, and 5 grandchildren.
He's a kind and humble individual, and I think we've heard words like understated, and but generally it's all about the other person, and it's all about, in our particular case, people with vision loss.
I had been working with Manitoba Hydro for about 28 years, and at the age of 45, within literally a few weeks, I lost about 97% of my sight. And as you can imagine, that was pretty devastating, and I'd had a fairly senior management position with the utility at the time, and was obviously extremely concerned about revealing that massive loss of sight and what it might mean to my future with the company. So having met with Bob and began to share with him what had happened to me, and obviously very emotional and tear-filled, and finally was able to say that I've lost most of my sight, Bob, and it happened in a matter of weeks, and happened about 10 months ago. And the first words out of Bob Brennan's mouth were, anything that you need, you simply tell me, and we will see the utility provides it, and your career is intact. While I'm somewhat symbolic of an individual who has experienced that kindness, understanding, empathy, support, there are probably dozens and dozens and dozens, indeed I know there are dozens and dozens of other employees that have had the same experience as I have had, which has had this amazing influence on their lives. Not as an act of charity, but as a genuine act of humanity, that all people that walk this planet all have places, and Bob sees everybody that way.
I think the thing that impressed me very much about Bob was his his enthusiasm and his willingness to take on a challenge.
It's been a pleasure to work with him. He's a great sense of humor, and I'm sure you've heard that many times. But the cup is always half full, not half empty, and there's always a way to solve things. And he's been great to work with.
He just is a giving man, and that has made a difference for people with vision loss in Manitoba.
Bob Brennan really does need a large chest to house a large heart.